To be able to solve physics dynamics questions, the most fundamental knowledge you must have is to be able to identify the forces that are acting on the object. Once you can do that, you will be able to determine if the forces are balanced or unbalanced. That is, if there is a resultant force acting on that object. With that information, you will be able to deduce if the object is stationary, moving with constant velocity, or with increasing velocity. Hence, in this video, we are going to learn 4 types of forces acting on an object. They are not visible to our eyes, but you must know that they exist. After this video, you will be able to solve many past examination questions on forces. Let's start with the first type of forces, weight. All objects experience a downward gravitational force by the Earth's gravity. This force that pulls the object downward is its weight, and it is always pointing downwards, towards the center of the Earth. The formula of weight is given by its mass times the gravitational field strength of the Earth. So when you have to identify forces acting on an object, the first force to draw is its weight. Whether the object is suspended in the air by multiple forces, or whether it is resting on a table or on a slope, there is always a downward weight. The second force is friction. Friction always opposes motion. So if the object is moving up, friction will be along the surface going down. If the object is moving eastward, friction will be in the opposite direction. Do also know that air resistance and drag that we experience when we are in water are both resistive frictional forces. So a parachutist falling in the air will experience an upward air resistance that opposes his falling motion. And a submarine in water will also experience a resistive force that opposes its motion. The third type of forces is contact force that exists when two surfaces touches each other. Contact forces always acts at right angle to the surface producing it. So in the case of an object on the slope, this is the direction of the contact force. When an object is placed in water, it will experience an upthrust, an upward force. Upthrust arises from the pressure which a fluid exerts on the object, so it is a form of contact force. If the upthrust is greater than the weight of the object will float up to the surface. The fourth type of forces is tension. This is the force that exists in a rope or a string or even a spring when we stretch it. Take note of the direction of the tension force. At the point of suspension, the tension acts downwards. At the point of where the object is suspended, the tension acts upwards. Now let's put our knowledge of the various forces together. For this case, the forces acting on the box are a downward weight, and an upward tension, and a pulling force towards the right, acting on the box. If these three forces adds up to be zero, then the box will be in equilibrium, that is not moving. Now for this man that is doing mountain climbing, the forces acting on him are a downward weight, a contact force at his feet, and a tension in the rope. As for this car that is parked on the slope, will it slide down or will it be safely parked on the slope? To answer this question, we must first identify the forces acting on it. First, there is a downward weight. If it were to slide down, the frictional force will be upward opposing its sliding down motion. Then, there are contact forces at the wheels. These contact forces are perpendicular to the surface of the road. If all these forces adds up to be zero, then the car will be stationary, safely parked on the slope. If there is a combined resultant force that points downwards, then the car will slide down. If you like this video, visit my website for more of such physics lessons. I have also included self-assessment questions to help reinforce your understanding, and also try out the Cambridge questions that I've curated to help strengthen your concept. If you find this video useful, do subscribe to my channel.